Here we go.
Quickest intro in TTNL history right there.
Yes. We're popping. We're popping. Like bullets popping on our phone about Quiddy Pay.
Yeah, Bullets just texted and requested that we make 8 trades each so we can extend the show. And I'm like, no, that ain't happening, bro.
No, let's do 28 mock drafts.
So we'll be right.
Every guy, and then we'll be right on one of them.
Yeah.
That's what these guys do. Oh my God. It's like,
it's
taking a long time.
It is, man. I'm excited, but I'm trying to keep my mind occupied, but my mind seemingly is occupied by draft related jargon at this point, and it's playing mind tricks with myself that, this is little under 2 days away. And it's, I saw the picture of Rome Odunze and Caleb Williams in Detroit.
Someone's driving the plane, flying the plane.
Yeah, Rome was, but yeah, looks. I'm excited, man. I'm definitely excited. Coach is all Coach
O. Rich Gordon is talking about. Do you have last year's draft?
I have them all actually someplace, but I do have last year's. Yeah, I screwed myself last year by being a smartass.
You should be penalized for that, so I can pick first this year.
Oh, yeah, that is the breaking news. Bill informed everybody at TTNL that he had the number 1 pick this year.
No, I thought I did.
So me being concerned with the rules, I had to go back and watch last year's fight night, which started off with Mr. Atoshin saying, with the first pick, I'm taking the clear-cut number 1 player in this draft out of the University of Alabama, pass rusher, defensive end, Will Anderson. So
that is a great pick, by the way. Was he defensive rookie of the year, or was it Jalen Carter?
Who did get defensive rookie there? It might have been. Houston might have had offense and defense.
I believe I get picked both rookies of the year, Richard Gordon.
You backed into the CJ Stroud one. Let's be honest. I just did it to be a dick, and
a win's a win, man.
Fell flat on my face for that one.
Who's complaining at a Hail Mary pass?
Yeah,
not
but no,
William.
Just some of the guys from Phil's team last year was the Deer Ticks. They have been reassigned to the Wolverines.
Yes, we are going to be the Wolverines this year.
I'm not sure how mine got named the Sideburns. This year we're
probably Ivan.
This year we're the Fighting Morianos.
The Fighting Morianos.
CHGO unblocked me last night, and so now we're best friends. I'm looking forward to having Nick on. We're gonna get him on the show.
Nick on.
Yeah, absolutely. But we'll just run through some of the best picks: Phil, CJ Stroud, and Jahmyr Gibbs, and Zay Flowers. That's a nice trio on offense. Absolutely.
What do you think about that, Richard?
Charlie Jones and Xavier Hutchison rounded out your wide receiver core. Will Anderson, as we said, Mozzie Smith, Trenton Simpson, Drew Sanders, and current Chicago Bear Noah Sewell.
Noah Sewell was on my
your linebackers.
Richard.
Joey Porter Jr., who went with our Chase Claypool pick.
Oh, that's right.
Member of the Deer Ticks. Antonio Johnson, your nickel. So that's the one thing that we do add, just so you remember, we do 2 corners, and we did add a nickel because it's vital to any team. And your nickel, do you remember who it was last year? Little guy.
I'm thinking. Bro, I can't.
Clark Phillips. Yep. So me being the jackass last year, wanted to have a little fun and add a little spice to this draft.
Deer said, ticks, not tits.
Yeah.
You have a dirty mind, Doug.
That is a great fantasy football name.
I do like that.
Yeah, the Deer Tits.
Could be my fantasy team.
But yeah, so I thought I was going to have a little bit of fun last year with Phil. And everybody knows my feeling on Bryce Young. So I ended up drafting Bryce Young last year just to put some pressure on Phil. But as we know, that one blew up directly in my face. I had Bryce Young and Bijan Robinson, JSN and Cedric Tillman, Michael Mayer.
Tillman's a end. Mayer's a good pick.
Yep.
Who was my tight end? Who did I take at tight end?
Kincaid. Dalton Kincaid.
It's a pretty good pick, Phil.
Yeah. Broderick Jones, Peter Skoronsky, John Michael Schmitz, Bergeron, and Paris Johnson were my offensive line. Middle linebacker, Jack Campbell.
Jack. Iowa.
My linebacker, my middle linebacker was Jack Campbell, and my fave, Dan Henley. Christian Gonzalez was my number one corner. Yep. Sidney Brown, who tore his ACL for Philly. Deonte Banks was my nick. The way that it worked out. So yeah, there's and actually my defensive tackles were Jalen Carter and Brian Brzee. So pretty formidable on the inside as long as Jalen's not doing crazy things off the field for me. But yeah, man, this is always
Richard, you're in the corner. I think my team might have won just
quarterback alone. Absolutely.
Pass rusher, the quarterback. But again, it's only 1 year. We love to do these. If you're new here to TTNL, welcome to the family.
What I'll have to do is I'll go back for our patrons and I'll post, because we've done this is the fourth one we've done.
This is the fourth one. I came up with this idea to do this, and it's been a lot of fun. It's a fun exercise. It gets you guys involved. I'm always about getting everyone involved and having a lot of fun with the draft. I mean, it's Grown Man Christmas. I got the most amazing.
He's got the actual names. The Connecticut Deer Ticks versus the Montana Sideburns.
Look at you, Bull. Get that man a TTNL swag.
And we can't talk over each other tonight, Phil, because you and I were widely reprimanded today by a listener from CHGO because we were very rude to Gregory Braggs on air last night. And we dismissed all of his thoughts on Marvin Harrison Jr. and it made the 2 hour and 35-minute show almost unlistenable. Or made it a very hard listen. So
meanwhile, I heard from a lot of sources that CHGO fans were begging for more.
They mentioned it live. According to Ryan Cox, they mentioned it live on air. CHGO today is saying that people were still talking about it in the chat. So
yeah, and
we will continue to be dismissive of Greg Braggs when he talks football players.
We also will be honestly hyped up. It was a lot of fun with our guy Greg. Greg actually wrote us a nice message, Jim. You would be so happy about how much fun he had, and they appreciated us there. Tonight, the Wolverines versus the Fighting Morianos. Now, no longer the Deer Ticks. We've changed our name to coincide with what we're doing here in Southington, Connecticut. Obviously, I cannot thank you guys enough for what you guys have donated. We are over $11,000, running towards our goal of $20,000 for these young kids, these two levels of football, 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th grade football programs. I have updates today. We met down at the field house, took the old helmets out there and exchanging them. They're going to go paint them, dip the face masks, put the Michigan Wolverine stickers on, and bring them back. I'm going to document this whole thing and thank all of the people. The Tape Never Lies Network stadium sign is going to be placed up at the scoreboard. We're planning on doing a lot of really great things for all of you. And all of this town cannot believe the stretch of TTNL and the Chicago Bears fan base when I tell you. So if every dollar counts for this program. I want to thank Vince, Mulatalo. Oh my God, you donated $500. He sent Shayne a DM towards the cause and these kids, Vince. So I wanted to thank you personally for doing that. I remember Vince back when I was on Twitter a long time ago, and just want to thank you for that. Give.thetapeneverlies.com. Truly appreciate you guys. You're muted, so I couldn't hear you.
What he's saying in not so many words, I'll say it for him.
What?
Let's push this bitch to $12,000.
If we could do that tonight, I could talk a lot of shit towards some of these haters. I won't name names. Oh my God, the stories I could tell on Wednesday night will be great.
Wednesday night, though.
Wednesday night.
Last night was a big night. We debuted the Bear Down with Big Steve on TTNL.
Bear Down with Big Steve. Big Steve was fired up.
Yeah, looking forward
came out fired up, ready to rock and roll. Dropped his knowledge. He's ecstatic to be on the network. Right there, the Bear Down with Big Steve every Monday. Steve is going to be joining us on our draft coverage and our breakdowns of every player that gets drafted, including the undrafted free agents. The link is very simple. It's give.thetapeneverlies. Shayne can type it in the chat. It's right there.
Right there.
So the term give, you don't even have to put the www like you're back in 2004. Just give.thetapeneverlies.com. Shout out to Jim Larison, who helped put this website together to make it even easier for the TTNL fan. The guy's a fucking genius. Just truly appreciate it. You don't know what it means to me. I words can't explain. I was having the worst 2023 ever, right? And a lot of shit we've had to deal with, both me and Shayne, and a lot of family stuff. Bears don't help. And then fucking Ryan Poles build through the draft, right? We are on the precipice of getting the greatest quarterback that Chicago has ever seen. And
should I take him number one tonight?
I can't believe I'm not picking one. It so sucks.
I could bypass. Are we doing the rule where our first?
No,
we were talking about changing it and making our. No, but I was saying we were talking about changing the rule because we usually always waited.
Yeah, we would strategically wait.
Yeah, so
quarterback because
we were thinking about this year. We had talked about it a little bit. I don't think we ever settled on it. Is making the first two picks have to be quarterbacks just to get those out of the way. But yeah, it's
well, if you don't pick them, then I'm going to steal them. So
I know. But are we doing the first two picks or quarterbacks, or just go with?
Yeah, I guess I could. No, I have to have strategy here because I know you, so I have to like look at what you're going to do and play off that. Because then you probably know what I'm going to do if I don't go quarterback.
Well, I definitely know who's going number two in your draft if I go Caleb. Yeah,
exactly. So
I had to see if I could paint my guy into a corner, but you didn't fall for it.
If you go quarterback, I'm fucked based on my plan here. You're
already honest, and I run to the podium and take Brock Bowers, and you're pissed.
There's no way I can win this year's fight night because Caleb Williams is the haul.
See, this was part of my master plan last year. Like, yeah, dude, I'll give you Will Anderson.
Yeah,
I just knew. I was planning ahead.
Knew where it was going. I should have traded my last year's pick for
Richard Gordon's right. He's like, Phil, you fucking dumbass. You should have planned ahead, like Shayne did.
Oh, I love Richard Gordon.
So
I just hear Chris Farley. Richard. Were you watching
Sure.
Spankshire Vision?
Fat guy in a little coat.
Oh yes. Is the music too loud? I like the music in the background. Gives a good vibe. Fields of Regret and Bussin' Jussin'? No. Come on, Jim. The Wolverines versus the Fighting Morianos this year.
Yeah, and the way it's gonna work, just so everybody knows.
I like the name of Fields of Regret. That'll be a 30 for 30 one day.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll have their own movie in Pittsburgh about it here in a few more years too. So let's
I have one Steeler fan go, I'm so tired of you guys giving me your leftover quarterbacks.
Yeah. But the way that this works, just so if you're new to this and don't know how it is, it's a fun exercise. You don't see a lot of people. I don't see anybody doing this. So it was a great call by Phil years ago, coming up with this different scenario. So how it works is we draft nothing but a team of rookies. So pretty straightforward. You got to have a quarterback, running back, tight end. We draft 3 wide receivers, offensive line, every position in a 4-3 defense, and we draft a nickel corner for both teams out of the draft pool from this year. And we keep track of it, and we'll take a look back on it next year and have some fun with it. But I think here in a couple of weeks, get a little bit more time, I'll go back and I'll compile a list of the last 4 fight nights. And
yeah, that'll be
those
fun.
are always fun to look back at.
It is fun. I couldn't remember my guy Phillips out of Utah, my nickel corner last year. I got all my top 5s is where I'm going to be drafting from. Shayne and myself, Cars, are going to release our top 5s, and Ivan Vargas is going to join us in the top 5 release on our Patreon, the tapeneverlies.com. If you're not a patron, if you're new here, every night this week we will be live breaking down the draft. Tomorrow night it will be Cars live mock draft on Keep It at 100. A lot of fun, a lot of obvious talk, and Cars plays the role of Ryan Poles and what he believes Ryan Poles is going to do. Now, I don't know if you watched the presser today, but there were several hints that maybe a quarterback they might take first.
Yeah, imagine that. Not the one Pete Prisco wants, I'll tell you that.
Oh my God, is this fucking guy? How did this dude have a job all these years? I've loathed Pete Prisco for years based on his asinine takes.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it, man.
Kevin, thank you so much. Yeah, you have currently beaten out Greg Bragg's donation by $20.
So real quick, Phil, and I know a couple people in the chat were talking about it, and NFL insider Tom Pelissero just sent out a tweet showing Rome Odunze and Caleb Williams together at the draft, but he also had this to say. Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze didn't just take the same flight to Detroit for the draft. I'm told Odunze has recently caught footballs from Caleb Williams, who was also throwing to wide receivers Keenan Allen and DJ Moore.
Wow. So he's running routes with Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Caleb Williams. Wow.
So, fun stuff.
Listen, if you were an investigator, you might put a few things together there.
Yeah. Just like Greg Bragg says, 1 and 1 equals 6, right? So just add it up and we'll get there. Kid's a genius.
People are looking for embroidered hats. We still have that company, embroidered hats, still available. There's the link, superiorembroidery.net/TTNL shop. We got to fix that one, Jim.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Someone take a screenshot of it. I hope. Also, can we get a scroll of the tapeneverlies.com? I don't know why it's not on there. Only because I had to make this background real quick tonight before the draft. I'll do it. www.
I think there's one in there, is there not?
No.
Should be.
Become a patron today.
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, there you go. I don't have to type it.
Yep.
There you go. The tapeneverlies.com. That is to help you. And then this could be give.thetapeneverlies.com for the Wolverine donation. Now listen, we're doing this right off the cuff. No producers tonight. Jackal's currently in a soccer meeting or baseball, whatever.
Equestrian.
And
he bought a horse.
So he's there. Ivan's working. Claudio's at the flea markets picking
up milk cans.
Picking up any kind of antiques. Cherie is currently on a date.
Yeah. Angelo's running for the border.
Yeah.
Cars is locked in the war room preparing.
He is preparing. He's got stacks and stacks of analytical stats, sheets, and all this stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah.
This guy's ready. He's getting ready for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. So tonight, at some point, we might get sick of the bell ding and we'll stop doing it. But in the early part, which one's the better one, Shayne? Is it this one?
Yeah, so when I pick, we'll do that, and then every time you pick, I'll go with this one. I think that'll work perfectly.
That was well played. All right.
Keeping it 100.
That's what Shayne was doing right there, keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100. I just lack comedic timing, as they say, Phil. I've been told.
He's been told. CHGO last night. We had a blast over there with Greg and breaking down the 10 players. If you watched it, you'll have a cheat code to how we're going to be drafting tonight. And it was a great conversation with them. Go check it out over there.
Paul, the shirts that they had for the Riley Strong one, that was actually through his school that they did here locally. Yeah, and they're definitely not available anymore. I think that's what you're alluding to. If you're talking about something else, put it in the chat. But yeah, beyond that was just the Riley Strong shirts were through his school that he goes to, and that they definitely aren't available anymore.
No, we could make one for the TTNL swag shop, but you don't want that kind of energy on it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you're superstishous in that shit. I don't even know.
I'm even just a little stitious, as they say.
Yeah,
not just superstitious.
What would they shorten that now? Sussy. So superstitious would be soupy. What are you, soupy?
Stitious. Yeah, I'm just
stitious. You're stitious.
Yeah.
Don Wanderley, $9.99. I want Bowers at 9. Dude reminds me of Urlacher with his freakish traits. Well, Don Wanderley, you must have been listening to me on CHGO last night, because I finally unveiled who I truly want at 9. And I did it live with my face, and I explained why. And he's beyond Urlacher because he's on the other side. I compared him to Chris Carter and Terrell Owens having a baby. That's what Brock Bowers is. You can't put him in a tight end hole. He is an everything. He's a freak. There's 2 unicorns in this draft, guys. It's Caleb Williams and Brock Bowers. Everybody else is good, great, whatever. This level of ability, and we'll talk about it. we might talk about him pretty soon.
Well, with that being said,
yes,
want to get into this. So what we're going to do is, so you guys can have some visual of what we're doing.
This is because we don't have a producer, so we're not going to put up pretty little graphics of the players.
It's going to be the meat. This is going to be the fun
meat
part.
and potatoes.
Okay. So obviously we're going to alternate picks. I will be kicking it off, and then whoever I take, I will draft, and it'll have the team logos there. So we're not really going to go by that. Essentially, I'm going to be the odds. Phil's going to be the evens. And
yes, I am the evens. I unfortunately lost my first overall pick this year.
Yeah.
James Hunter, I love your AVI, bro. Sorry, I almost convinced you, but I love your AVI. Super chat is open. We will include every super chat. My goal is to put the super chat up immediately. When we get stuck, we might need your help, like Don Wanderley. Everyone. All right, Shayne. Are you ready to kick this off?
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
I think much more needs to be said than that right there.
You do have a cheat code with that.
I did.
You have a great cheat code with your pick. There it is.
Caleb Williams will be leading the Fighting Morianos for the next 15 seasons.
Wow. Right out the gate, the quarterback, the best quarterback I've scouted in my lifetime is going to my opponent here in this game. And Shayne, that play, I put it on my Instagram, and I had this dude on Instagram go, instead of appreciating the play and everything, he's like, I don't know what the fuck the corner was thinking going back and dropping.
Yeah.
You're not impressing me with your thoughts on the coverage, bro.
So
did you recognize what happened in the play?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The Atlanta, they are not losing their pick. This
sucks.
Yeah,
Nick.
It's not going to be settled before the draft starts. So any compensation that they will be losing would become an issue in 2025. So the NFL announced today that they will not be done with their investigation. So
well, maybe we'll get
that.
Unless ones next year for their meddling with Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some next year. We already have two twos.
Well, I don't think the team that was tampered with is going to get a direct benefit. I think that the team that did the tampering is just going to get hammered. And the two teams that are being investigated are Philadelphia Eagles with Saquon Barkley. And that was really, Philly probably wouldn't even have been brought into it, but James Franklin, the head coach from Penn State, talked about it in a press conference.
Did he?
Yeah, and that's kind of where all that started. Yeah, he openly said it.
Oh my god!
And then he realized what he did, and all hell broke loose. But yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, so pick number 1 is in. Quarterback Caleb Williams. Quarterback USC is on the board. I already know where my guy here is going, I'm assuming. But
so the Wolverines here, the Southington Wolverines, right out the gate, he took one unicorn. I take the other unicorn. That's how I do it. And the pick is being sent up by none other than Angelo Joseph Marino.
Hey,
He's bring-
coach.
He's
Do you
bringing.
spell Brock Bowers with 2 B's or 4?
Okay, let me have 36.
No, we're picking 2, Angelo. The pick is in the Wolverine Select wide receiver / tight end / tailback / everything. Brock Bowers out of Georgia. Now, Brock Bowers brings a element to the table. As I said, if you're just tuning in, I comped him to Terrell Owens. I look at what, and Shayne, we talked about it last night, what this guy can do to the Chicago Bears offense is be able to move, and in football, you want matchups. You want to get matchups that you're going to have an advantage of. So if you force Jair Alexander to cover Brock Bowers, that is a mismatch. And that's where you start dominating a rivalry that hasn't been very good. So now that's why I'm taking the big tight end / wide receiver. I compare him to Terrell Owens and Chris Carter, that kind of aggressive hand catcher. We broke him down for our patrons on tape. And tonight we're live here. I believe he is 100% in play at 9 for the Chicago Bears. I have a scary feeling that Jimmy Harbaugh might take him. Well, we'll see. But tonight I take him for our Wolverine squad. Where are you going now?
Just real quick, question here from Sid H. They cannot have him there. He is not under contract. And it's just, he wouldn't be there. So everything that of him working out is just on his own.
I just
can't
want
have
you
any
to know,
workouts at facilities like that.
There's a very funny facial expression that says, duh, Caleb, it's our guy. I have to let you have fun and be entertained at the draft, but I can 100% assure you that Caleb Williams will be the number 1 pick of your Chicago Bears Thursday night. Smash the like button. That's right.
So with my second pick, so this is where the strategery comes into play.
I know what you're gonna do.
I think I can back my guy into a corner a little bit here, where I won't be able to get one guy, but I might be able to get 2 with the way that I could back him in here. But
he's in strategy of knowing what I like.
We both like. But anyways, I somebody put in there that I was going to take Joe Alt. That is not my pick here. I'm adding some explosive playmakers to my squad. So what that means is come on down, Malik Neighbors.
Look at you, Malik Neighbors, off the clock. And I am following suit as I am ready to run up to the podium and take my number 1 wide receiver in this year's draft. And by the way, his name rhymes with, I can't even make a rhyme.
Hard one to rhyme with. Yeah.
It's a hard name to rhyme with. What rhymes with a Dunze? Because Rome Odunze is coming to the Wolverines right there. So now Bowers and Odunze. Yes, I said my number 1 wide receiver in the draft. Shayne took my number 2.
Yep.
Wide receiver. So now he's got to decide what he's going to do here.
Well, I know where I can go next pretty easily, and I'm just not gonna chance it. I know you're not. I know you don't hate the guy, but you're not as high on him as others. But I'm just gonna. I want to give my guy another weapon. So I'm gonna pair Marvin
Love you,
Harrison
Phil.
Jr. with Malik Neighbors for my quarterback Caleb Williams, and it's gonna go there.
There you go. Marvin Harrison to Shayne's Fighting Morianos, a relationship building moment last night. If you didn't tune in to Bears After Dark, Phil, Shayne, and Greg honestly had so much fun.
Yeah, it was. It
talking
was a ton of
draft
fun.
last night. A lot of fun. Go check them out. Check the show out. Everyone loves Greg or hates Greg. There's no middle. I love you, Greg. I am going on the clock here, and I'm going to make sure that I get a player that I don't want him to take. So I'm using strategy here myself, and I am going to get an important position in the Wolverine defense with a Wolverine. If Shayne knows where I'm going, I'm taking nickel corner, and I can play him at corner. Is my number 2 corner in this draft, Mikey Sanistril. Mike Sanistril.
So you're putting him at Nick, you said?
I'm going to play him at corner.
Okay.
He's my number 2 corner in the whole draft. But I'm taking him, preventing you from taking him. I see that in my head, and I want him. Who is he? He is probably the most underrated corner in this draft. CFF has him 34th ranked.
He's not a safety. He's a corner, but he reminds me of Mike
Brown.
He's always around the ball. Always.
Intellect. Football intellect beyond anything. And he's a talented athlete. Who is he? He's the dude that put the national championship away, making an interception against Penix. Listen, I had to get a Wolverine, man. I think Cherie likes that pick.
I think so too. So now
the pick. I like this. Who said that? Jeremy using creative stuff here.
Yeah.
Hail to the victors.
Phil took a guy that he knows that I love because yeah, so I have to, turnabout is fair play. So this is probably going to surprise some people, but I have some explosion on offense. Now I need some explosion on defense. And I want a guy that can do 2 things on my defensive line. So that's why Jared Verse.
Oh, you fuck.
Is coming to the Fighting Morianos.
Oh, my God.
He added to my defensive line.
He takes my guy, Jared Verse. When you talk about Jared Verse, you see the length, you see the power in his hands, the ability to bend. I look at 2 guys in this draft that have this ability, and Jared Verse is one of my favorites. I am going to go follow suit here because I need to make sure I get my guys here. I am going to take a surprise shot at Shayne and take a 3-tech. That's the best one on the board out of Texas.
There you go.
And Byron Murphy, and put him down at the 3 technique and make sure that my defense, which by the way will be a 4-3 defense.
Oh yeah.
But Verse is a great pick. Now I get an interior battler battling. You just so happen to fall on both Bears picks with your odd picks. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is. So
I know what you're doing now.
So yeah, I am going to stay on the defensive side of the ball, and I know that Phil is not going to draft this guy, but I'm going to give my guy Phil, the guy with the fused neck. You can have him. You can have him. So I'm going to add Dallas Turner across from Jared Verse on my defense.
So you're going
give me a young upside explosive guy to give me some sack production on the other side.
Nice. I am going because I have to make sure that this football player is on my team. That's a great pick by you. You have to hit it though.
Yeah. Let me.
So you got Dallas Turner, and you have.
I'm writing everything down and
Jared
drafting
Verse.
these guys, and yeah, so it's.
So right now, Shayne has Dallas Turner. Usually, it'll scroll across the bottom because we'll have a producer.
Yeah.
But tonight we don't. Cherie's way too busy on her date. No, I'm kidding, Cherie. I don't know. But the verse curse is real. The draft isn't over, James. But he is out to a far lead. You win just on getting the quarterback, by the way. So,
yeah. Well, I knew today I was going to come away with Jared Verse and have the little pin prick through your heart. I knew that one was going to sting a little bit.
Does sting.
When you picked Sanistril, I was positive you were going with Verse there.
Really?
Yes.
I had to get Sanistril on my team because I know we both have him as the number 2 corner.
Yep.
And I was like, he's got to be playing on
and that is not something that Phil and I.
We didn't even talk about it.
That came up just out of the blue when I think we might have been talking to Greg, and I'm like, hey, Phil, I got kind of a different guy at number 2 in my corners. And he's like, you motherfucker.
I knew what he was gonna say, man. Anyway,
So
I am struggling here, but I have to go and take the chance that you might get a guy that I want, but I want to make sure I get my left tackle. My number 1 tackle in the draft deserves to be in the top 10. Olu Fashanu, offensive tackle, Penn State, is coming to the Wolverines. Once a Nittany Lion, now a Wolverine. So I get the big man with the small hands. You passed him.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
And listen, athleticism beyond anything. Great feet. Second best feet in the draft, and only to Fatanu. And I would not be disappointed if the Bears took Olu come draft night.
Yeah, so you go tackle, I go tackle. So my number 1 tackle is coming off the board here after Phil's number 1 tackle, Joe Alt. Come on down and provide me some protection.
Exactly, John. Me and my dad were talking about a 600-pound deadlift. He's like, maybe his hands are small, but they're certainly strong holding that weight. The tape never lied. Joe Alt, the big man, 6'8" and 7/8, almost 6'9", going to the Fighting Morianos. For me, now I'm going to get the guy that I was praying he wouldn't screw me over. I didn't swear, for your children that might be listening. I am going to take my number 4 wide receiver because 3 of them are off the board, and that's Ladd McConkey out of Georgia. So I get Ladd and Brock together, and Ladd McConkey has breakaway speed beyond, and I just love the way he runs the routes.
Surprised to see him on Breer's. I know he's been nicked
Injury,
up. Yeah, there was 2 of them. So definitely something to be
watchful
on the
of
lookout for on draft day. Absolutely.
So there goes Lad to the Wolverines.
All right.
And again, if
So
you're just tuning in, we are building an all 22 team.
yeah.
All 22 teams.
All right. So that puts me back on the clock, Phil, and I'm debating a couple of different ways here, but I am going to go this way. I've added explosion to both sides of the ball.
Yes.
And I added my number 1 tackle, and now I'm going to take my number 2 tackle and give my guy, Mr. Caleb Williams, some more protection. People may not agree with me here, but JC Latham is going to be the starting right tackle for the Fighting Morianos to pair with Joe Alt to give me a couple of mountains on the outside protecting my guy.
Look at you getting the big right tackle that could play left tackle based on his athleticism. And Shayne has been very high on him. I am going to go to the defensive side of the football and get my pass rusher, who Shayne alluded to. The tape never lies about this guy. Quick feet, power, reminds you of some of Khalil Mack. The ability to continue through the blockers and dip, bend, and chase. His motor's going all the time, and that's Latu out of UCLA is now coming to the Wolverines. That's the motherfucking facts, y'all. Latu.
Yeah.
Latu is a Wolverine.
All right. So I put him there. So I am going to continue to stack. And this is probably going to be another pin prick through my guy's heart. But I'm going to be drafting this guy and pushing him inside. And Troy Fatanu is going to be an offensive guard on my great wall of Morianos that I'm building here to protect my quarterback with my explosive playmakers on the outside. So Troy Fatanu
takes my tackle and puts him at guard. Look at you. That was a good steal there. So I will have to take a right tackle, and I am going to wait on my tackle and take a guard in Talias Fuaga and put him at right guard.
Smart move.
To combat your guard pick and not allow you to destroy me. I'm hanging in this game now. With that pick, that frees me up. So now I have a left tackle and a right guard.
Yeah, and with that being said, Phil, I am going to continue to stack on my offensive line. And I am heading to the offensive tackle from Duke. That is my new starting center. Graham Barton will be snapping the football to Caleb Williams for the next 12 to 15 years.
That's a great pick. I love Graham Barton. I have him as my what's my center?
He's my number 1 center.
He's my number 2 center.
Oh, you don't have number 1?
No, I have him number 2. I have who I'm going to take right now out of the national champions, Greg, UConn Husky. Chris Haynes is gonna go.
He almost went right here. He's in my top 50 players, by the way.
He is in mine.
Yep.
Well, so is Graham Barton. So Chris Haynes is going to go and play center for the Wolverines, the Southington Valley Wolverines here.
So interesting note on Graham Barton that was talked about today.
Thank you, Pinch Spice. I appreciate your
Within
kind
the
words here.
Within the NFL, they're expecting him to go into the teens now, Graham Barton. And the lowest that he would fall is to the Pittsburgh Steelers at 20. So that's
he reminds me of, what was that dude from Stanford that the Steelers had for years? What was that? Starts with the last name with a D.
Yeah.
I could see him.
Dawson.
No,
Imani
not
Dawson.
Imani Dawson. What's that guy's name? He was at Stanford. My son left his gummy bears here, Shane, so I'm gonna steal this pineapple one.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So good. That is a good pick. You got to put my Haynes up there.
Oh, yep. My bad. That's what I was.
UConn, and then it's your shot.
Yeah.
I don't want to steal.
Let me go to the interior, and he's down.
Ocean always gets what he wants.
All right.
7:00.
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
David DeCastro, Jeffrey Burton.
Yep.
There you go.
He got injured there a little bit.
Yeah, late. I think year 7. He was like 3-time Pro Bowler. David DeCastro. That was his name. Thank you, Jeff Burton. Usually Anthony Gordon gets these. Like Anthony Gordon would be great on like Jeopardy, football Jeopardy.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do not love this corner class, but I am going to take my top corner. And my top corner is from the University of Toledo, Quinyon Mitchell.
There you go. Quinyon Mitchell. Gone. Off the board. So we both have 2 wide receivers. You have a quarterback. I do not. No one's taking a running back.
Murphy is not on the board.
I took Murphy
early.
Made sure I was getting that. So I am going to get my tone setter and the middle linebacker and take Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Yep.
I need a captain on defense. And Jeremiah Trotter Jr. might not test great or whatever, but has a nose and instincts for the football. He's a football player. Much like Sanistril is aware. I love Jeremiah Trotter Jr. a lot. And I have to have him at the middle linebacker position.
Yeah, and that was going to be definitely a guy on my list, but I am going to let me see here, because you took my number 2 corner,
right?
Which I forgot about, which was going to be my pivot. But let me look at my list here, which we will be releasing here on draft day to all of our patrons. But all right, yeah, no, I'm good. Well, I'm going to make Cherie happy here and our guy HL Priest, and I'm going to counter your linebacker with one Junior Colson from the University of Michigan, also a football player.
Also a football player, very good football player at that. That's a good counter to my captain of our defense. So I'll let you pick him. And I am going to take outside linebacker here from North Carolina State. He's right there. They might put him at inside backer, but he's going to play outside backer for me, and that's Peyton Wilson.
Very explosive, but you're going to have to invest in a very good medical staff.
I have a good medical staff.
Latu and Peyton Wilson.
You are going to have to recognize, I know Peyton's had some injuries, but He is an outstanding football player.
All right.
He can rush the passer. He can flow. He's going to play will linebacker for us.
Yep, that's where I got him down for you. All right. Well, one thing that
I don't have a pen, so I can't write down. So if I
I can send them to you. I'm writing them all down.
Okay.
I got a pivot here. So, and actually,
the pivot.
This is perfect here. So, do you see Cooper DeJean as a corner or a safety? And that's why I'm drafting my safety here.
I see him at corner.
Yeah, I see him at safety.
It's funny, I was gonna pick him next at corner.
Yep. So, Cooper DeJean.
Why is he helping you? Asking this seems like a cheat code.
No.
He asked a question playing dumb to remind you who's on the board. I see what's going on.
So Cooper DeJean from Iowa. I am having him at safety.
Iowa.
Yeah.
IOWA. Iowa.
Tell him, Tooch.
Well, the Wolverines are going to go back down into the dirty trenches and continue their strutting. And they are going to go back to Texas and get a defensive tackle with a lot of off the field troubles. But I feel like Jeremiah Trotter, Mike Sanistril, and Peyton are going to help this young man become an absolute superstar. There's no questioning the talent on tape of this 348-pound animal. Tavondre Sweat will drop in the draft, but he will not get away from the Wolverines football team. Now, I got both Texas D tackles.
Nice.
You know what? If that sophomore was coming out, I'd probably drafted him at the end. I love that kid.
Yeah, no, it's a great pick. Definitely somebody that I had earmarked for my team.
There you go. I got him before you, but you did get my Iowa.
Yeah.
I love that kid at corner. He's also going to give you a great punt returner.
Oh, yeah. Lucas, and this is the thing. This is PFF's board, and I do not agree with any of it. We're just using this for this.
Someone sent me CBS's ranking, like a screenshot. I'm so sorry. It might have been Chris Ross. It could have been somebody else. Instagram, and they have CBS has Olu Fashanu, number 1 offensive tackle, 3rd overall ranked player in their big board. It's Caleb. Then I forget who was second. I gotta look it up. And then it was Olu Fashanu. I go, is that Brugler or is he gone from CBS?
No, Brugler is with the Athletic.
Oh, he used to be at CBS, so I don't know who's doing their draft coverage now.
Yeah, Brugler's with
CBS big board.
He is the the guy that does the Beast.
Yeah, I've never seen the Beast except for John Santino. I've met John Santino. John Santino, when we come out, and we will be there this year in Chicago, John Santino will bring his, what are those things called? The drone.
Yeah.
He was able to get some dope drone shots of the tailgate and the party. So I am with James Hunter. Newton for me is way down. We didn't get to confront Mr. Corey Wooten last night. I wanted to confront him on this Johnny Newton. Love. That would be, we said it on the show last night. We'll say it again here. Me and Shayne both agreed. If the Bears took Newton at 9, that would be the most disheartening thing. It wouldn't ruin my night because Caleb Williams is here, but
yeah, that would be.
You're like, man, you had a chance to get anybody but that.
Yep.
You just don't see him that high.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Phil. So Tavondre Sweat was your last one.
Tavondre Sweat. So I got my 2 defensive tackles, and I got Latu
Yeah.
Liatu
So
Latu at Ed. I need
I'm
another.
gonna have to pivot here, and
Yep.
I want to make sure that I get my other corner. And a lot of people probably think they know where I'm going here. And I am not going with Mr. Arnold. I'm going with my guy that I have ranked higher than him in Nate Wiggins.
Fastest defensive player in the draft.
Yep. So my two, that's going to finish off I have Quinion Mitchell and Nate Wiggins.
And your nickel is,
I haven't drafted one yet.
are you doing Cooper DeJean there, or are you playing him at safety?
I'm playing him at free safety.
All right. I love Cooper DeJean at corner. But I digress. So my left tackle's in place. I can wait on my right tackle because you have both tackles. So what else do I need? I got my two receivers. I'm going to take my third receiver off the board because I'm going to cheat the code and use Brock Bowers at tight end for this thing, and he knows exactly who I'm taking, and that's Florida State wide receiver Keon Coleman. Come on down. You're the next contestant on the Wolverines. Keon Coleman. Big time catch radius. So I got for a short guy, I got all the talls, and I got a speedster that I can put in the slot. John Santino, our second super chat of tonight's fight night, where every night we're going to be coming live covering the draft for you right here on TTNL. We've already talked to you about the Wolverines and the Fighting Morianos tonight facing off. We've also talked to you about this. Give.thetapeneverlies.com. It was supposed to scroll. Why isn't it scrolling? Please make it scroll.
It's not scrolling.
How does it scroll? How do you make it scroll?
Yeah, you have to hit. I can grab it. Boom, boom. There you go.
There it is. Give.thetapeneverlies. You can let that scroll for a little bit.
Yeah.
We are pushing towards 12,000 of the 20,000 goal. We want to get that by draft night. So before they get Caleb Williams, we want to see 12,000 on the board. We're at 11,200 and change. John Santino, $10 writes MFFY. If you don't know what that is,
motherfucking facts, y'all.
if you never made it to a TTNL tailgate, don't miss the next one. Next one is always a great time. Camp with TTNL is great time too. Hope everyone is well. Thank you, John Santino. Huge believer in what it is. I know Jose Torres was there. I know Sean Stewart was there. I saw my guy, Lampalamba, Joe Lampalamba. How do we say it, Joe? You better be still there. But anyway, I saw him there. I've met so many people there. Shannon was there. If you were there, let us know. Give you a shout out. But
yeah.
Who's on the clock? You are on the clock. I got Keon Coleman, Lad McConkey, and Rome Odunze.
I think this guy that I'm going to take has been overrated publicly. I mean, I saw one crazy person take him at number 9 in a mock draft at one point. But he's not coming to the Fighting Morianos to play center because I've already drafted my center in Graham Barton. But I love the upside with him, and he's one of the youngest players in the draft. But I am going to finish off the inside. Actually, this is going to finish off my offensive line in general. Jackson Powers Johnson is going to play offensive guard for me. And that finishes my offensive line. Joe Alt, Troy Fatanu, Graham Barton, Jackson Powers Johnson, and J.C. Latham are my offensive line blocking for Caleb Williams.
I have Olu Fashanu. I got Haynes.
Yeah.
I have
That's it on the line.
I have what's Talise Fuaga.
Oh, I did not write that down, but I did draft. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
And you're playing him at left or right, Phil?
right guard. So he's playing right. So I need a left guard
And a right tackle.
and
Well,
a
your
center.
right tackle's easy.
No, Chris
now.
Haynes. Yeah,
And
my
you're-
right tackle I could take, but I am waiting on him because I wanted to make sure I cover some of these other things. So I have one corner,
Yep. And no safeties.
and you took my number 1 corner and number 3 corner. So I'll have to take my number 4 corner to make sure I get him, and Shayne doesn't put him at safety or some shit. I am going to take cornerback TJ Tampa
Big fan.
off the board out of Iowa State. Big, long corner to play in Coach Phil's.
He's raw, Phil. I think probably for year 1, but I think in 3 years you might look back and he might be the best of them all.
This dude has the ability and length that you want to see. Very raw, as you said. Really good eyes on the quarterback skills. That's why I get fired up about him. We haven't had a chance to break down many corners in this year with all the quarterbacks, offensive tackles, wide receivers that we've been focusing on. But just to reiterate to you, as we see producer Ivan Vargas must be on his break at work. What's up, Ivan? We will break down every player that's picked. So that means Brock Bowers and Caleb Williams will be broken down again. And whoever else the Bears take, including the undrafted. Shout out to my guy, Chris Harold. Love you, brother, for all you do for this network. So right now I got my 2 corners.
Yep.
I got my 2 interior defense. I need another end, and you are on the clock.
Yeah, and so I'm going to go back to offense, and one has not been taken yet. And I'm going to be honest, this isn't my... Just like, make sure I'm not speaking out of line here. Yeah. This isn't my favorite player at this position, but I need a guy that's a little more well-rounded to tote the rock for me. And that's why with my amazing offense, Trey Benson, running back from Florida State.
My number 1 back goes off the board. Excuse me. I was yawning. I am going to look at my board here, and I need what? A left guard?
You need a left guard and a right tackle. Your tackle's easy.
Yeah, that's why I'm just leaving him there.
Yeah.
So I have to go by my rankings.
I may have
I'm
to
going to
draft-
take
I
my
may have-
left guard.
I may
right
have to
now.
draft your offensive tackle and make him a defensive tackle. So just to be an asshole.
He could be an end, maybe. He's huge. But I want to get... Well, I might as well take him off the board, to your point. He deserves to be called before my left guard. Let me take my right tackle. Seems to be that I'm way in this state. Where's Jonathan Hood when I need him? He's got to be my defensive coordinator. I'm going to Georgia again, and I'm taking Amarius Mims, offensive tackle, to play on the right side opposite Olu Fashanu. So my right side looks very good with Talise Fuaga and Amarius Mims. My center is Chris Haynes from UConn, one of my favorite players.
I already know who your left guard's going to be also.
And my left tackle is Olu Fashanu, my number one offensive tackle in the draft from Penn State. Olu, if you're watching, bro, if you're not a Bear, I have so much respect for your tape. You're the closest to Laramie Tunsil I've seen in a long time. Gonna cry. La Palombella. Lampalambella was at the tailgate with us. Shout out to you. I always try to help every person out. The labels are labeled towards Shayne and Phil because they're petty little bitch frauds out there that when they get their name or get their riot or their little act called out, they get their panties in a bunch. And I don't have any qualms calling out lying frauds. So there you go. And neither does Shayne. Right, Cap?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ivan Vargas from the Tape Never Lies Network and another Bears show. I'm here with, you love him, you know him, David Kaplan.
What's going on, Tape Never Lies Network? Two of my favorite people in the world are my guys Phil and Shayne. I talked to them more than I talked to my wife as we went on the whole Justin Fields saga, and now it's Caleb Williams time. Take that.
Look at that. The train horn sounds right when he says that. It's amazing. Look at our guy Cap and our boy Ivan Vargas out there. Speaking of boys,
Then let me do what I hired to do.
okay, we should get him on the show tonight. Just send him a link, Shayne. See if he'll come on. Text him a link. How are you, Shayne? How are you?
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Coach. So, Amarius Mims off the board. Shayne, where are you going now?
Well, I'm just kind of looking over the board here, and you have not went in this position at all. So I've went with one.
Now you're going to get your second safety?
Yeah. And I took Cooper DeJean.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to go and make Mr. Hood happy.
Oh, boy.
And I'm taking...
You're going to Georgia.
Yeah, I'm taking Javon Bullard.
My number 2 safety goes off the board. And I also had Caleb. Caleb was my number 2 corner. Nope, sorry. Number 3 corner. And my number 1 safety. But I still would prefer to play him at corner. How
Yep.
crazy is that? That's how talented Shayne is getting a football player. So your safeties are gone, so I know
Yep.
mine now. I will take my left guard.
Mm-hmm.
Get him off the board.
Easy. Are you going to BC?
I am going to Boston College, and
Do
Ryan Poles is going to be happy because I'm going to his alma mater, and I'm taking Christian Mahogany, and I hear Rakim's beat right there.
Why did it do this?
Mahogany. Why is it doing that? We're still going.
Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, you know what I did? It must not have hit for a second round.
Goodness.
Well, we'll just...
Where did Alan Bratcher? We needed you tonight, Alan.
Yeah. Well, that's what you get. But so let me...
Fine. It's just documenting it. Take a screenshot of it.
Well, just let me stop this one. And I'm going to add another one.
Another one. Yes, but
Another one.
once they've taken that toll of Justin Fields fandom and were destroying Caleb Williams, they crossed the line. They crossed the line. They became the dojo opposite of Miyagi Dojo. They became, what was their other dojo?
Beyond Miyagi, though.
Yeah, what was the other one? The bad guys.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. Yeah.
They're the Cobra Kai. They're the guys standing in the background instigating it. Put him in a body bag, Swifty. Put him in. He's terrible. They suck. They don't know. He'll never be traded. It never dies. Cobra Kai, it never dies. They won't die, but we won't forget the pivoters.
So
the
this, Phil, just fill some time and let me go through and draft these guys. Just so.
Okay, I'm filling some time now. That's easy for me.
There you go.
The pivoters. We're coming up with all these nicknames. Cap got a DM apologizing, kissing his ass. Try to get in his good graces to avoid from being called out for his stances. He played at Michigan, apparently. Now he's changed his tune. Yes, there's a bunch of these grifters, these quackers, these crackerjackers, these backpedalers, these scabs, these phony Bear fans that just put everything in a bottle. They're like fucking Sting, message in a bottle. And the police, they lost it. Space Ghost, coast to coast. Couldn't watch the tape. They had to fall victim in their tears. They call them the Fumble Crew in some parts of Scotland. See it all over the world. The Moonwalkers, as Ray Morris called it. They attacked TTNL. Big Steve Edwards had to go on a rant last night talking about it. The flip flop, you can hear it in the background if you pay attention to the music. Flip flop, flip flop. What you gonna do when Caleb drop? Flip flop, flip flop. Yes, we have a lot of flim flam men. All of them worried about the Hall. Remember the Hall, Shayne?
Yeah, well, we're drafting the Hall at number 1 overall on Thursday night.
We draft the Hall at number 1 overall. Wait, let me get a better hook to this beat with that. We draft the Hall. 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 We draft the Hall at number 1, y'all. I'm gonna get it. It's in there. Yes.
Tony Cronin might be a better freestyler than you.
Yeah. Courtney. Jeff, I see you, Jeff, and I see a bunch of people on my timeline now battling some of these ignoramuses. Look at Jeff out kicking his coverage in his AVI, Shayne. I know you're typing, but take a peek.
All right, let me pop back in there.
Jeff.
Nice job.
Jeff outkicked his coverage, Jeff. Listen, great show Monday night, and thanks for adding Big Steve, says Jaron. Is it Jaron Thomas or Garen Thomas? You can hear my son Tate jumping in the background in anticipation. I told him, you know what? What did you say?
Caleb Williams.
There you go. Imagine being them. Like, I was a Bears fan waiting for a quarterback. This kid's about to sleep 2 nights, wake up, sit with his dad here on TTNL, and see the Chicago Bears led by Ryan Poles pick up the phone. Hey, Caleb, you ready to be a Bear? Yeah, we're about to do what you've dreamt for your whole life.
Oh, my God.
We're going to make you a Chicago Bear. There you go. Chicago's about to do something they've never done. The grifters. Well, Garen, you're right. I'm lucky to have Big Steve here. So thank you for recognizing Big Steve. We draft the Hall at first overall. Look at Sean Stewart. He's giving me the hook. This could work. I'm excited. We're going to announce a new edition, another new edition. And I'm not talking about Ricky, Bobby, and Ralph. Who was the other one? Johnny Gill. Not talking about them. I'm talking about a new addition to the network during the draft you're about to meet. So if you listen to Big Steve's show open, you're going to meet the guy who produced the song and the lyrics and the music. Super excited to bring him out. Look at this. Garen ordered his swag. He's going to have it on draft day. And
Nice.
here I was thinking Tate was lucky. I don't want to spoil any of...
I just got through all of these and it booted me out. So just bear
Oh,
with
my
me, please.
motherfucking God, bear down. Didn't know Big Steve was from Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
I got to remember for Max, we draft the Hall at first overall. Got to be a whisper. Totally. I hear it.
Do you want to throw up a clip real quick and
A
break
clip of
somebody
what?
down? I don't know. Something. Just give me a couple minutes or no?
Take your time. I could break someone down for a few minutes. Who do you
Yeah.
want me to break down for you
Put it-
guys
put
in
it
the chat?
chat.
Who do you want me to pull up some tape? I have some options here. Hold on. I'll give you the options. Caleb Williams? Option 1. You want some Caleb Williams tape? Hold on. We draft the Hall. The first overall. Draft the Hall. Someone's going to have that stuck in their head tonight, as well as I will. So that you know it's a good hook. I got to shout out my guy, Sean Stewart, for doing that, because I heard it, but I couldn't put it together fully. We draft the Hall. That first. We draft the Hall.
Why
Okay.
don't you just throw one down?
Lad McConkey?
Nah, dude, make everybody happy. They're here. They're Bears fans. Throw a couple up of our new quarterback. What
All
the hell?
right. Let's share the screen and get our new quarterback in the pipeline. This is something. Let's go to. Do you want to do? What do you want to do? The Notre Dame, or do you want to do the Oklahoma tape?
Yeah, go to Notre Dame.
Notre Dame game.
Sure.
But Shayne, he was terrible in the Notre Dame game.
Wrong. A couple bad passes. Yeah, and he did recover. It's crazy how that works.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, you gotta love narratives, bullshit
When-
narratives, because you may not like the kid or what he puts on his fingernails or what he is given to wear at a photo shoot. So you just roll with nonsense.
Well, there's the quarterback there for you. And again, this is the full all 22 coaches tape of Notre Dame versus USC this past season. So in this, you're not going to just get a focus on Caleb, but we will focus on Caleb right there. You see a move, step up into the pocket here as he's battling against the pass rush from the outside. Look at the tackle whiff completely. Look like a young Charles Leno. Here's your quarterback getting outside the pocket, having to escape with nobody open. Watch 71 is going to get beat up the field too easy. I mean, that looks like sophomoric JV football. You could see there's nowhere to go for him there.
We are
Here
all
we-
set, by the way.
You got trips and you got 2 by here. Wing. Look at him. Grip it and rip it, we call it. So this is a pocket. Here he is, 3-step. He read it perfectly because the off coverage bails. This guy turns his back, gets caught. He knows Brendan Rice is coming back. He delivers it on time. This will be a little bit of a teaser. On draft night, we'll go to his other tape. And just look at the structure. When you have a pocket, just drop it in his face. There he is. I don't know the blur technique here. 2 more plays, Shayne.
Yep.
Mesh. Look at this interception now. Okay. He does the perfect job meshing. And you're going to see they allow the inside rush. The guy's right in his face. His hand gets hit, and the tight end slows down on a release. Just keep running and make yourself available. But the quarterback puts it on himself, and he'll take that and is upset with himself. We'll see it from behind. Could watch. I mean, is 71 playing in this game? Does he have money on it? What is that? So the quarterback, if you really look at it, is thinking the inside release is going to get up to where he's supposed to. So he throws off. This ain't making excuses up. He just throws it off the thing, getting hit in the face. Tight end should have ran through that. No pick. But this is what you'll get. More of this if you become a patron at TTNL. I delayed enough for Shayne. We're coming to the end of our mock draft.
And so let me make sure I get this right. So it's going to look a little bit different. No,
it's a little bit funny. So you always have to be prepared. Always have to be prepared. That was actually read 1. Let's see, on the first play or the interception? The interception was completely made by the free man rushing.
So we're back. So and I had enough time, so I made my
picked your pick.
Yes, Edgerrin Cooper.
But then you got 2 picks in a row. You skipped mine because you took Trey Benson.
Oh wait, I didn't. Yeah, so who am
that means I get Caleb Williams.
Yeah, no, I must be missing 1 pick. You know who it is? Let me.
Mahogany?
No, just 1 second. Let me add it there. Think about who you're going to take next. And then just give me 2 seconds.
Because I took Mims.
Yeah, I know. I'll get it in order. We'll clean it up in post, as they say.
So I took my guard center. I got my offensive line is set.
Yeah.
I need an edge rusher now.
Yep. So that Mahogany was the guy that I forgot. So yeah, we'll switch that around. So yeah. But anyways, we're back on you, and you're going again.
So I am going to take I just gotta go by my board.
So you need a defensive end,
a corner,
Sam, free safety,
2 safeties.
Yep, both of them in your nick.
In my nickel corner. So for my defensive end, I am just gonna swing for the fence here and skip over one guy and go pass rusher Chop Robinson out of Penn State, opposite of Latu. I'm gonna take Chop and hopefully build off of his athletic talent.
Well, it's where it makes sense, Phil, is out at, between Latu being injured, Tavondre Sweat being in jail, and Peyton Wilson being in the hospital. Yeah. Chop Robinson will be out there every week.
Hey, Latu will be fine.
All right, let me see here what I was looking at.
We take the Hall at first overall. It's on and popping. It's on and popping. Do we have Quiddy Pay tape?
Threw it all away. Well, you know what? I'm going to finish off my linebackers. I'm just going to take another football player that I'm not sure if you even like him at all, but let me just check here real quick.
These guy. We had a lot of fun. We talked about it.
It would fall in here. So let me bring this up here, and I'm going to go to the linebackers. I'm going to finish off my linebacker core, Phil, and there he is right there on top. Tommy Eichenberg, football player.
Very good football player.
Yep. So,
Tommy Eichenberg, brother of Liam Eichenberg, former Notre Damer, now Tennessee Titan, I believe, right?
I think so. I think you're right.
The Wolverines are going to select their running back out of Notre Dame. Audric Estime is going to come and play tailback for us. Audric Estime, my number 2 running back in the draft. Probably down further than the PFF boys like him. But I like him a lot.
All right. Well, I have not addressed defensive tackle at all because you threw me off a little bit when you took both my guys that I like.
Building in the interior.
So I'm going to switch to there, and I'm going to take my next guy, Phil. I'm not sure how you feel about this guy, but I like this kid. He's didn't get to do a whole lot at Michigan. I think he's going to be a better pro than collegiate. But Chris Jenkins.
He is. I love this guy.
Yep.
I love him. Chris Jenkins. Very good pick there. I am going to take safety right now. Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota. Tyler Nubin out of Minnesota.
He didn't run as fast. He ran a lot slower than I thought he was going to. But I'm definitely a fan. He's my second safety.
Good football player. Good instincts. Again, solid guy.
I almost went way offline, and one of my favorites that I just love watch, I almost added him to my team, and Sione Vaki.
Oh yeah,
Ben Ricketts is probably Ben's for him. I almost added him there, but
former safety turned running back might go back to safety.
Yep.
We got the Hall.
Yeah, it's not, Chris Jenkins is not a relation of Tevin Jenkins, but his father
is former Panther and Jet.
Yeah. It's an
manimal. He was a manimal. Fucking guy would die. He just had grown man strength.
Yep. All right. I'm not a fan of this guy at number 9, Phil.
Wait, you picked.
You just took Nubin.
I thought you just picked
But
Jenkins.
I think the value is there for me at this point. And I think he is a good football player. I can't take him at number 9. But Johnny Newton and Chris Jenkins, I'm going to have
Johnny Newton
on the interior of my line. Not a whole lot of beef there, but there's a whole lot of pass rush.
We got the Hall at first overall. We got the Hall.
Keeping it 100.
That's right, Funkster Jones. We keeping it 100 tonight at Fight Night, having fun with you. Over 480 of you right now. Smash the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And if you're not a patron, I gave you a little teaser of what you're going to see in regards to telestration and breakdown and analysis when it comes to these draft choices that you are going to see us, break them down. If you're not a patron, go to the tapeneverlies.com. You're going to be linked directly to the patron site. Fill out your information. There's like 12 of you or 20 of you that are sitting in there free. We don't give anything away free anymore.
Yeah,
you know why? I go to the grocery store, get 3 items. All of a sudden, I'm paying $89. I'm like, what? I got toilet paper, dog food, some eggs, and a protein bar. What's going on here? That brings me to ask you to donate towards give.thetapeneverlies.com for the actual SVFL Wolverines. Every dollar counts. Let's see if anybody donated during this show. Someone did. Wait a second. 3 people did. Kevin Wood. Shout you out. $20 by Kevin Wood. David Ohm. He's fucking born to do yoga. David Ohm, $100. And then another $100, Shane, from Obed Diaz Cortez. He sounds like a fucking explorer. Give him hell, Wolverines. Obed Diaz Cortez founded TTNL. We're just in another universe. Thank you guys. So now the number is $11,423, and whoever the fuck donated 37 cents. I am not mad. Every dollar count. I'm like a busker right now. Let's go. Proud of you guys. Thank you. If you're not a patron, become a patron as we get to my pick now. My pick, since we're doing the Wolverines, I better take my quarterback for the Wolverines. This dude's lucky. He doesn't even have to change his uniform. He graduates college.
And by the way, Phil, I think we can announce this to everybody, and there's probably going to be people that will be pissed off about this.
Oh, well.
This is our QB2 in this draft.
QB2 right now for me, as my top 5s are right here. I always write them in my old legal pad. All my notes, all my rankings, all the names, all the crossouts. JJ McCarthy, come on down. You are the quarterback of the Southington Valley Wolverines right now. Right now. Get out there. Jaden Daniel, Lewis Riddick, Kevin. Are you kidding me? Pete Prisco. Guy hasn't gotten things right since 1968. Pete Prisco. How does he have a job? It's like, come on. The Contrarian Crew, the Moonwalkers, the Shadow Creepers, the Red Johns. All of these guys out there trying to manipulate a fucking quarterback that is the best they've ever seen. What about Kellen Mond? He's playing in the UFL. No, he got signed by somebody.
Did he? Yeah, he was the one throwing the football.
I think the Saints signed him. I believe. Someone, Anthony Gordon. Where is Kellen Mond for $100? Jim Larison. I actually like these sunglasses on you, Jim. Me and you on a beach in Cancun, drinking some Coco Locos with those blue shades. We're getting a text by patron Ryan Cox. And all I have to see is RG3's name. And in Dragon Ball Z NFL Draft Project, Jaden Daniels is Super Saiyan Future Trunks. They know what it takes to survive and thrive in the different worlds of the Pac-12 and the SEC. RG3, we need you on Nickelodeon, bro. Go away. You're the worst. Oh my God.
All right. Well, I am up here and I have not taken my Nick yet. And I think I'm going to do it here. And I'm probably, a lot of people are saying, oh, he's just going to take Terrion Arnold and put him in his Nick. But I'm not. I'm bringing a football player, and I need a little bit of a dog on my defense. And Phil, you probably don't even know where I'm going on this one.
I have no idea.
Oh, wait, I got to draft your quarterback here, don't I?
Yes. JJ McCarthy.
All right. Well, you and I have not talked about this guy, but I am a fan. Ennis Rakestraw Jr. from Missouri.
Wow.
Love the kid's instincts. He's very, very smart. Just a really good football player, good in short area. I honestly think he's almost like a quarterback of the defense, even though I'm going to be playing him inside. He's just always around. He's got a little dog in him, and he is going to pair up with Quinyon Mitchell and Nate Wiggins to be my Nick and make some plays for the Fighting Morianos.
Guys, taking a guy under the radar. I might have to follow suit under the radar. Take another safety. One of the sleeper safeties in this draft. Where is he? No, I got to stay with my board. I have to stay with my board and take safety Jaden Hicks out of Washington State. Jaden Hicks, safety, Washington State. Kid is 6'3".
You're playing him at free?
I could play either one of these guys, but I believe he had the better range. I could play him at 6'3", 212 pounds. Jaden Hicks, redshirt sophomore, young buck coming out in the draft. A lot of high-end talent there, Mr. Jaden Hicks. I know Ben is pissed at me. I can see it. Should have been Cole Bishop. It was a toss-up between the two, but that's why it's like I got to stay by my board. Jaden Hicks. So now I have my safeties. I have my corners. I need a nickel.
Yeah, you need a Sam Backer
and a nickel, and then I'm done.
A nickel and a strong safety.
No, I drafted what's his name from Minnesota.
Oh, right. My bad.
Got my guy from Minnesota.
No, I didn't write him down.
Newbin.
Yep.
And then I had a tie ranking on Cole Bishop, and I have an edge to Mr. Hicks.
So you need a Sam and a Nick.
Yep, a Sam and a Nickelback. And then we've kept my promise to my wife that I can spend one night with her this week. Watch some movies before the big shows.
Oh,
Shayne making me work overtime.
Yeah.
Where the
All right. Well, I am gonna go get my tight end, as you can see up here, Phil. And is it gonna be Jatavian Sanders? No, it's not. Is it gonna be Eric All? No, it's not. It's gonna be the guy down just a little bit right there. Ben Sinnott is gonna come provide some tight end play, some H back. We're gonna move them all over the place. Phil took my tight end very, very early, second pick overall in this draft. But I am a big fan, and this guy has been connected to Chicago a lot. If they do go Brock Bowers early, obviously they're not going to add another one. But if they don't go with Bowers, this is somebody that I would keep my eye on potentially ending up in Chicago. Somebody asked who's Phil's running back, and it's
Audric Estime, who is my number 2 running back over Jalen Wright, who would be 3, Will Shipley 4, Blake Corum 5. There's a spoiler alert. That's all I'm giving you. My running back 5. Now, my outside linebacker, my Sam linebacker. So I have Jeremiah Trotter as my Mike. I got Peyton Willis as my Will. That means I'm going to put Edgerrin Cooper, or did you take him?
I took Ed. I took him.
Fuck. I missed that. That means...
Yeah, it's thin pickings here.
I'm going to have to go to James Williams. Oh, no, I'm going to go with my guy and skip Williams and go with a guy that I think I should. Marist. Let's go to Notre Dame for Chris Zorich and go Marist Liafo. Marist Liafo. He's up top.
Yep.
There he is. Leo Afo. Some bullets is going to tell me how to say his name.
All right. Well, that brings us up to the final pick in the draft, Phil, and I need a wide receiver.
The last pick of the fight night. Then we're going to go over it with you.
Yeah. I can think about taking Roman Wilson. I can think about taking Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Polt, or Xavier Legette. Bringing a guy, Malachi Corley, that can play all over the place. I got A.D. Mitchell and Brian Thomas out there. But you know what? I'm going to go with athletic freaks and a guy that's very young. And I have him just too high on my board. He's got some things to work on, but when he's got Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors ahead of him, this guy led college football in touchdowns. Brian Thomas Jr. is going to finish off the Fighting Morianos.
Brian Thomas Jr. My wide receiver 5 tied with Keon Coleman.
Yeah.
So there you go. Brian Thomas Jr. off the board. That leaves me with what left that I have to pick?
Your Nick.
Oh, my nickel corner.
Yep.
I have the opportunity in a pinch. I could put Sanistrel in at nickel corner.
Yep.
But he's going to start at outside. I got TJ Tampa, Shayne Stold. So I am going to go Terrion Arnold.
Makes sense.
Corner.
Yeah, so honestly,
Wolverines.
I would put Sanistrel in his best position inside and play Terrion Arnold out there. Him and TJ Tampa's a nice duo. That's what I would do, but this is your team.
I am going to ask Terrion to start working at nickel at first because I want my guy his shot at outside. But in a pinch, I'm going to have to talk to Mike and say, Mike, we got to do what's best for the team. You are dominating.
Alabama played him in the slot, so he can do it.
Both guys can.
Yeah.
I just have such a belief in Mike Sanistrel.
Me too. I'm right there with you, man. And like I said, you and I don't share our rankings before we finalize them. And something about that kid, he's no matter where he ends up, and he'll
former receiver.
Yeah.
Only 2 years.
Yeah.
Defense.
Yeah.
Who's my punter? We both fight for Iowa punter.
We're not drafting kickers or punters.
No,
we
we
never
don't.
have. Yeah,
We
it's
never do that.
boring.
But both of us would love to see the Bears draft the kid from Iowa. Sorry, Trenton Gill.
Yeah. So
There you
here,
go.
let me give you a quick rundown,
The
Phil.
rundown.
As I take these. So this is the Wolverines from 2024 Fight Night, coached by Philip Atoshin Jr. Quarterback JJ McCarthy, running back Audric Estime, tight end Brock Bowers, wide receiver Roma Dunze, Lad McConkey, Keon Coleman, left tackle Olu Fashanu, Chris Mahogany, Chris Haynes, Talisi Fuaga, and Amarius Mims finishes off the offense. Defensive end Leatu Latu, inside Byron Murphy and Tavondre Sweat. I think that's the key to your entire defense right there, by the way. Chop Robinson on the other end, linebacker Peyton Wilson, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., and
That's the
Maurice
captain.
Leofau. Corners Mike Sanderstrill, TJ Tampa. Safeties Jaden Hicks and Troy Newbin, and nickel Carrion Arnold.
There you go. The Wolverines are ready.
Yep. So,
When college football comes out, we should make an all-star team and play these teams in a sim.
absolutely. So
That
this
will be awesome, actually.
this is my team, the Fighting Morianos, and everybody can get out their lotion because you're gonna love this team. Quarterback Caleb Williams, running back Trey Benson, tight end Ben Sinat, wide receiver Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison Jr., Brian Thomas Jr., offensive line Joe Alt, Troy Fatanu, Graham Barton, Jackson Powers Johnson, JC Latham. Go to the defensive side of the ball. Jared Verse, inside Chris Jenkins and Johnny Newton, Dallas Turner on the other edge. Linebackers Edgerrin Cooper, Junior Colson, Tommy Eichenberg. Corners Quinyon Mitchell, Nate Wiggins. Nickel is Ennis Rakestraw. Free safety Cooper DeJean, and strong Javon Bullard.
There they are. Fight night. You're going to be hearing these names called on Thursday, remembering this night and where they went. I still remember taking certain linebacker edge from Penn State and Shayne saying, I don't know if I like that guy. And he ended up going to Dallas and becoming something special.
Well, there was
Remember?
a lot of talk about them wanting to play him at will linebacker.
Yes. Well, Shayne definitely has me at quarterback. That's for sure.
Hey, nobody
And that
knows right
matters
now.
most.
We'll see.
But we will see.
Or you can just be like Key's guy. Phil's team is loaded. Shayne's team gets my money. I'll take it. He likes them both.
Well, now that the NCAA football team, and I'll remind Jeff Burton and Sean Stewart, those will be my reminder guys. We'll put Corn Planter there too. Me and Shayne will both have to get the game, and we'll put these guys on each other's teams and see which team in a sim. So there's no skill. We'll just see what the computer has to say. That would be fun for our patron show. Brian Crow. So glad I found TTNL a couple years back. Grown Man Christmas. Jim Larison. It's coming Thursday night. We're 2 days away. Tomorrow will only be 1 day away, Greg. 137 cents away. 37 cents away. I want to reiterate and thank Obed Diaz Cortez, David Ulm, Kevin Wood, Terrence Burney, Dale Williams, Brian Michael Dean, and anonymous Lemuel Galama. My boy, his daughter Shayne was outstanding in the play Mary Poppins and was playing Bert. Dick Van Dyke's role. She was outstanding. Nick Whittington. Appreciate you. Nicholas Bryden. And Vincent Mutullo. Lloyd K. That's where the 30 cents comes. 1337. Those must be his lucky numbers. And Dino Lavina for the kids. I can't thank you guys enough. Your kindness, your compassion goes so far. You should have seen the equipment guy. Like, really? And he was a motherfucking Packers fan. I kid you not. He brought the fucking Packer helmet to our shed. I said, get that shit out of here. Ask Coach Fish. He has a tattoo of the Packers on his leg. I go, I don't even know if I trust you dipping these helmets. But anyway, TTNL is family. We need Angelo to dress up as. That's exactly, Shayne. You got to send Angelo the script tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to dress up as Santa Claus.
I can't do that.
Happy grown man Christmas, everybody.
That's very disrespectful to Saint Nick, Coach. I can't do that. Can't do that. But Phil, let's get out of here. Let's make Steph happy.
Yes.
For you patrons, I will post the results of Team Phil and Team Shayne, or as they are known, the Wolverines versus the Fighting Morianos. And with that being said, come back here tomorrow night, 8:30.
Tomorrow night.
Keep it at 100. Probably won't be a super long show. We'll do some things. We'll have some fun. We'll see what Cars/Ryan Poles decides to do for the Chicago Bears. But other than that, man, we're just about at the 9 o'clock mark. And
oh my God, we
get
did
out
it.
of here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow night. Cars on Keeping It 100. And thank you for joining us for Fight Night on the best Bears show on the planet, covering the draft. We'll be doing over 70 hours of live coverage of breakdowns, analysis, reaction, interaction, and all of that good stuff. For Shayne Marsaw, I am not the smartest man. He is. I'm Draft Dr. Phil. We'll see you tomorrow night. One night closer to Grown Man Christmas.
I want to say something before we get underway about The Tape Never Lies. Okay, so I know that there's a billion podcasts and a lot of people talking about NFL and talking about the Bears. But let me just say that you really, if you are a viewer of Tape Never Lies, don't go anywhere else. Come right here. And the reason why is because Dr. Phil and the smartest man to ever live is going to tell you like it is. And so sometimes you'll go over here and I'll go over here and you'll hear this rhetoric over here, over there. Whittle it down. What I would say is ESPN Chicago, because I'll put myself over and I'll put ESPN 1000 over. But I think that we have to start whittling it down, man, because when you get these 10 or 15 sources, it muddles your mind on exactly what's truth and what's not. The Tape Never Lies network is about the truth.